Asher abete perro begerto. Yeta perro begelo que coming. Macarnish beaderto. Yish beabegelo que coming. Genesh haho katarota arushanoto.
Shalom, shalom, Miss Bakah. It's Brother Arya, or Araya. Now, I made a post on my Facebook page, and I wanted to share it with you guys, all right? And this is about the Joshua, the book of Joshua, Joshua 1 and 8, okay? And we have here in English, this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. Right? So if you want to be prosperous, you want to have good success, you don't pick and choose what you want to do in this Torah. And you will guard the Torah. Okay? You will guard it. That's why people seem like I'm overly aggressive, or I'm angry, as the old fools say, or any other word. I just have an understanding that you all do not. And that's not the brag or the boast. It's just because that I put in the work. And it's other brothers that have this understanding too as well. But I'm just, I act it out. Now, we're going to look at the word Tismor, right? Tismor. And the word Tismor would be, you will be careful to do, right? Tismor. Tismor. Here it is. We have the same Joshua 1 and 8 in a Katav Ashuri, and we have it in Katav Paleo, right? Here's the word. The word is right here. Right here. Tismor in the Paleo. Tismor, right? Tismor. And so it comes from the root word shamar, H8104. In this context, it means to guard the Torah like a military soldier guards a military base, as well as observe and to perform. Okay? It doesn't just mean to guard, it means to observe and to perform, and to guard like a military soldier guards a military base. So if you try to attack a military base, what will that military soldier do? Now put that in this perspective of people trying to attack the Torah. You are to do the same thing that that military soldier does to protect that base. You are to do the same thing with the Torah. You are to protect and guard that Torah. If there's an attack, you defend it. And I'm not talking about killing and murdering nobody. No. That's what the Muslims do. This is where they got it from. Because Muhammad sat at the foot of Jews and learned in Medina. I learned that from my very first teacher, who was a Sunni Muslim. That converted to Jew after he found his lineage was from the Levites. Because he has his records. Now, let's look at some textual criticisms, right? So you have the word Tismor right here in Proverbs 2 and 11. And let's see what it says in the KJV. You have different renderings. Discretion shall preserve the understanding. Discretion will guard you. Discretion will guard you. You notice how the KJV always has something different than what other ones say? And these two are closer to what the Hebrews, to the Hebrew context, the Hebrew understanding. It's not just preserve. It's to guard, like a military soldier guards a military base. Proverbs 2 and 20. You have the word Tismor again. Right here. Tismor. Right? And it says, of good men and keep to the past. And the KJV renders it correctly this time. Keep to the past, and to the past of the righteous and keep. So you have keep, you have guard, right? Keep and guard. Zechariah 3 and 7. And if you will perform my service, right? You have the word Tismor right here. Perform my service. So now you have guard, you have keep, and you have perform. So all these things that you're supposed to do when it comes to the Torah. So when all these women be saying, oh, I understand poly and it's not for me, but this and that, so you wicked. All you men saying you don't want to do what the Torah says, you don't want to take on your dead brother's wife or whatnot, man, you wicked. You don't want to help the people, you wicked. You don't want to return a lost item to a fellow Israelite that you found, you wicked. You scamming, you wicked. You teaching false doctrine, getting money off of it, you wicked. Because you're not guarding the Torah. You're not performing the Torah, and you're not keeping the Torah. And as you can see, that KJV says something totally different than what the Hebrew actually says. This is why I push Hebrew literacy. I don't push doctrine. I push what the text says and what it doesn't say. Now, Zechariah 3 and 7. Let me turn. I'm watching the World Cup, so let me turn it down some. Zechariah 3 and 7. We have the word Tismor right here. And also have charge of my courts. KJV says my house and shall also keep my courts. The INT says my house and also have my courts will grant. Job 22 and 15. Here's Tismor right here. Will you keep to the ancient paths? KJV says, hast thou marked the old way? It has nothing to do with it. It has something to do with keep. They should have said, hast thou kept the old way? The INT, path to the ancient, keep, which have trodden. 2 Chronicles 7 and 17. You have the word Tismor right here. The NAS, that I have commanded you and will keep my statutes. KJV says, according to all that I have commanded thee, and shalt observe my statutes. Deuteronomy 22 and 23. We have the word Tismor right here. You shall be careful to perform. Of thy lips thou shalt keep and perform, in the KJV. INT, what your lips shall be careful to perform. So as you see, you have to perform the laws of the Torah. Not only do you have to perform the laws of the Torah, you have to keep the laws of the Torah. Not only do you have to perform and keep the laws of the Torah, you have to guard the laws of the Torah, just like a military soldier guards his military base. Now, go try to step foot on a military base right now and don't have the proper credentials. Are you Israelites guarding the Torah? Now, I showed you that, but we're going to go into the Hebrew because I don't just do things just off of my words. I go show and prove, right? That's what we do on this channel. So right here we have Joshua 8, and it says, Lo yamos saper hatorah hazeh mitpika, right? Wehagita, bo yomam welela lema'an tismor la asut kakal, right? Tismor la asut kakal. You will be careful to do according to all hakatub, all that is written. All that is written. And you have your definite article, hey, right here, right? That's pointing to the words that are written. So y'all be picking and choosing and things like that, and y'all say that my character, my this and that, and so on, so because I guard the Torah, that lets me know that you people don't know what you're talking about. At all. You don't have a clue what you're talking about. Now let's go look at the word Tismor right here. Like I said, 8104, Shamar. Be ward, be circumspect, take heed, mark, narrowly observe, preserve, regard, reserve, etc. Right? And see, what does it say right here? Properly to hedge about as with thorns, i.e. guard. This is the proper definition of it. To hedge about as with thorns, to guard. So you have a rose bush. How does a rose bush guard itself? When you try to attack it or stick your hand in there, what it do is stick you, right? What about the beehive? When you mess with the beehive, what do they do? See, we are agricultural people. And you got to change your mindsets. A lot of y'all still think like heathens in modern day society. I don't. I've totally separated myself. I had 3 years of isolation in the Most High, and just studying and speaking with the Most High. 3 years of isolation. No friends, none of that. Now, you go over here, you go back, And just to show y'all that I'm not lying, click on the word Tismor. What do you see? Same thing, Deuteronomy 28:58. You see 2 Chronicles 7:17. Tismor, I have commanded you. You see Job 22:15. You will keep the ancient past. You see Psalms 130. You, Lord, should mark. Right? Mark. Proverbs 2:11. Discretion will guard you. So you're supposed to guard and guard the Torah, and perform the Torah, and keep the Torah. And you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it just like how a rose bush protects itself, properly to hedge about the Torah, as with thorns. In other words, guard, like a military soldier guards a military base. And a lot of y'all not doing this. A lot of y'all not doing this. And you're looking at me sideways and crazy because I'm doing this. Now, let me see if I can find a comment that that sister said on here. You're not of Yah, etc., etc., etc. And that's why I went and made this, because let me find that video. It was the very first one I did.
Let me see if...
We don't want to hear that arrogant, stupid fool. Did you see this one right here? They worried about the wrong things. The wrong things. But that ain't the one. Let me see. Maybe it's on this one. Yeah, this fool right here. Yah is not pleased with you. You went to his page, then you're posting a video about him as if he like you really retarded because he started the videos. And in my very first video, you see him talking about me in the video. That's how dumb you women are. A lot of y'all are bird brains. That's why you constantly led astray. The scriptures talks about it. Men leading silly women astray, right? This is not of Yah. How do you know? How do you know what's not of Yah? Because what? You didn't even know that you're supposed to guard the Torah as a hedge about, as with thorns. And you take me as guarding the Torah and following what Yah has put on my spirit and what Yah has shown me to do, to actually walk in his ways. You tell me I'm not of Yah. Show me profanity in the Tanakh. Show me modern day profanity in the Tanakh. You people still think like heathens. And of course you would say that because your leader, elder, says that I'm not part of the remnant. So you would take on his personality, his ego, his arrogance, and his pride, and you would say something like that, and you think that you're okay. And this is the type of hate that you're going to get when you guard the Torah and when you learn the language and you can prove people's doctrines wrong, because you're going to mess up with their money. You can't be. You speak with pride. It's all in your words, and you're not speaking truth. Well, lady, it's been more than 24 hours, and your elder still haven't answered none of the questions. He's made 4 videos and hasn't answered any questions. Not a one. Not a one. I made my videos and showed his words, him saying this, so I can't be accused of slander, and then pulling up the truth. You women are dumb. And then your sister on his page talking about, oh, he says the Torah wasn't given to the women. Well, it wasn't given to women. The law was given to Adam. The Noahide laws were given to Noah. The Torah was given to Moses. Are you saying that those were women? See, your Hebrew feminist mindset leads you to believe, just because you hear me saying the Torah wasn't given to women, your Hebrew mindset automatically goes to, oh, he's saying that the women can't keep the laws and this and that. That ain't what I said. I said it wasn't given. Show us the verse where a woman was given the law or any laws. And then you went on there. Let me see if I can go get it. I don't really want to keep going to this dummy's page, man, but let me see. That ain't the one. I need to find the one where he said where she's talking about this and that. There he goes, right there. Says that the brother mentioned the Torah wasn't given to the women, shaking my head, which would make us lawless. Well, guess what? The Most High told Adam, don't eat from the tree. He didn't tell Adam he couldn't touch the tree. Adam told Eve, don't eat from the tree. But when the serpent asked Eve what the law was, Eve said, don't eat from the tree and don't touch the tree. She added to the law. The same thing that you women are doing now when it comes to the poly and everything else. The same thing that you did when you kept talking, when you're trying to say wisdom is a woman, making Chokmah a demigod. Woman comes from man. Chokmah is a spirit. So again, like I said, I don't want to keep bringing up this old fool channel. But again, you have to guard the Torah. And y'all not doing that, man. This is why it's imperative to learn the Hebrew language and Hebrew grammar. It's very imperative. So guard the Torah. Learn these commandments. Because I guarantee you what you're reading in the English it got you out here looking like a fool in y'all's eyes. And it's because y'all lazy. You don't want to go into your language and see what it says. If you Hebrew, learn your language. Learn your grammar. Now, I hope y'all appreciate the edification. Until the next video, shalom, shalom.
Bakanish beaderto, yish beabegaloge gumin. Genesh hacho katarota arushanoto.